So we did a video yesterday about creating abundance. And we probably did, 30 minutes of video before the clip that we actually put on Facebook and YouTube. And in that 30 minutes, we talked about a lot of things. And you asked me, and what I figured out was you asked me a 3D question. I answered you with not a 3D answer. But what we cut out of that video was the 3D answer. I did give you a 3D answer. I did give you some specific tools that you could use in order to work at the job that you work at and feel better about it, to create a better reality for yourself. But we didn't use that part of the video. So what we aired was a 3D question with an answer that was level 5. We cut out levels 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I wanted to answer it again, and I also wanted to explain that some people are at the just beginning stages of trying to make their physical lives better. So they would benefit from a 3D answer. And some people have already done that part and they're on a different part. And so they need a little more than that. They're like, okay, well, I got that already. What's next? And then some people have been doing this for a while and they would need what's next from that. And all of that is wonderful. And there's not a level that's better or higher or lower than another level. Everybody is exactly where they need to be. And, you know, nobody's at the top level. Nobody's finished. You know, and that's the thing to remember. Anybody that's finished, well, I guess they would be dead. Because if you're not expanding and growing, then you're not living. If you're not living, then you're definitely, if you're not dead, you're on the way there. You're getting there. You're dying. So everybody is still learning and growing and expanding and on a different level. And levels, like, you know, when it comes to our evolvement, levels are not so clear-cut that they go level 1, level 2, level 3. They overlap each other, you know? You can learn something that, and I have a hard time when people talk about, like, 3rd dimension and 4th dimension and 5th dimension and 6th dimension. And it really, to me, feels like that's gonna make people say, I want to be at number 7. It's gonna make them goal oriented. And once you do that, forget it. You're back at 3D. You know? So I don't like putting numbers to dimensions and levels. Other than we live in a 3rd dimension, and we know that. And that gives us like a reference point of something that's really, really easy to be able to grasp as far as a starting point. Anything more than that is wonderful. And you can call it 4D or 7D. I don't care what you call it. You know, it's wonderful for you. Right? Whatever level you're at, whatever degree you're getting things is perfect for you. And I want people to have joy and fun and happiness. And if they're goal-oriented, like, I've got to get to 6D because all my friends are getting to 6D. I don't want them to pass me. I don't want to be left. I don't want to be like not understanding what they're talking about. Or even if they're not comparing themselves to somebody else, even if they're just got the blinders on and I got to get it as high as I can. What number am I at now? And once we start putting a number on it, there we go again with those labels. I'm not where I want to be. And I would like, in my perfect world, everybody would love exactly where they are. Of course they want to continue growing and expanding, but enjoy it. How can you enjoy it if you're just wanting to get to the next level or the next dimension? I think sometimes maybe you're third dimension, and sometimes you're not, and then you are again, and then you're not. And I don't think it's like a step ladder. It's not like you finish this level, you're on to the next one. It's like some days I am pretty 3D. And some days I'm not. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with me being however I am on any given day. And I would like, in my perfect world, everybody would have a real similar perspective to that they're okay with their self, no matter where they are. And part of growing and expanding is accepting, and not just accepting or not just tolerating, but actually embracing wherever you are right now. So if you're having a really yucky day and you busted out crying in front of a person that you didn't want to cry in front of, your boss or something, then that's the experience that you're having today. And that is perfectly okay. And the best way to transcend that experience is to not get bent out of shape about it later, and not beat yourself up over it and have guilt and have shame and have remorse and regret. The best way to do it is accept yourself wherever you are and go, I had a really yucky day yesterday. I even busted out crying in front of my boss. Next, on to the next thing. Don't carry it with you. But the only way to not carry it with you is to be okay with it at the time. Or maybe just right after the time. You might have a few minutes going, oh God, I can't believe I did that. But then go light on yourself. Go easy on yourself. Nobody ever got a better life by choking it to death. You just cannot grab a hold of it and make it work the way you want it to work. It's not going. That won't work. So you might as well be okay with it wherever you are. It's going to be what it's going to be. And it's easier if you're at least embracing however you are at that time. With maybe keeping in mind that this is temporary. That if I have a meltdown, or if I'm having a bad day, or even a bad week, it's temporary. I wasn't born that way. I'm not going to die that way. So be easy on yourself and enjoy this journey, because you're not always going to have this journey. And when you're not here anymore in your 3D self, then these are going to be the good old days, And you don't want to be having remorse about I wish I would have experienced that instead of trying to surpass it. You came from somewhere else. You haven't always been in this body. You haven't always been in this dimension, in this reality. You came from somewhere else. There are a lot of theories about where that is. It doesn't matter. It just matters that you do know for sure, I did not come from here.